When we look at the current landscape of the gaming industry, it becomes more and more obvious that we have reached the proverbial dark ages. In the recent years, corporate greed has reached an all-time high, while creativity has been on a steady decline. It becomes more and more common for games to simply repeat what either the previous installments have done, or chase trends and copy the competition in hopes of earning quick and easy buck. The abundance of microtransactions, overpriced deluxe editions, fully priced games baiting their customers to spend almost half of the price of the base game on seasonal basis, and selling the recycled content as new has sadly become almost a standard these days. Bang for the buck that most AAA games provide is perhaps at the lowest value it has ever been, and while big companies seem to make more money than ever before, it doesn't stop them from committing mass layoffs and causing an exodus of talent, which increasingly shifts away from the scene. While 10–20 years ago a status of AAA title meant prestige, nowadays it seems to have become almost a derogatory term. Because of that, independent studios have been on the rise, and deservingly so. While the conglomerates continue to prey on their customers, independent businesses step in to remind us what gaming once used to be and what it stood for. They are the ones who bring some light into the darkness that the industry has found itself in, and in the recent years one of them began shining far above the others. Larian Studio has found incredible success through the release of their latest title, Baldur's Gate 3, which has won multiple Game of the Year awards and continues to be nominated in various categories across multiple industry events. The game they have made is nothing short of a masterpiece that made millions of fans fall in love with its characters, storytelling and amount of freedom it provides both in regards to narrative and gameplay. But the real reason for its success does not lie in these aspects. The real reason why Baldur's Gate 3 turned out to reach the heights that it did was the mentality of the developers who made it. The difference between what Larian and many other independent studios stand for in comparison to big publishers in likes of EA, Activision or Ubisoft has been made abundantly clear during the Game Developers' Choice Awards at GDC 2024 by the CEO of Larian Studio himself, Swen. His impromptu acceptance speech for the Best Narrative award was probably one of the most honest moments during such event in the recent years, as he openly expressed his disapproval of the direction most video game publishers have taken.
And then the speeches here have been so good and basically stole all of my thunder of the things I wanted to talk about. So about stopping war and about stopping the greed, which has been fucking this thing up for so long, ever since I started, I've been fighting with publishers my entire life, so it's like, and I keep on seeing, I keep on seeing the same mistakes over and over and over, and it's always the quarterly profits. The only thing that matters is the numbers, and then you fire everybody, and then like next year you're going to say, shit, I'm out of developers, and you're going to start hiring people again, and then you do acquisitions, and then you put them in the same loop again, and it's just been broken and broken and broken. You don't have to. You just can make reserves, slow down a little bit, slow down on the greed, be resilient, take care of the people, don't lose the institutional knowledge that's been built up in all of those people that you lose every single time, so that you have to go through the same cycle over and over and over.
See, this is the key difference that separates Larian and other respectable developers from the modern AAA industry. The games they make are created out of passion and love for the medium, rather than satisfying quarterly revenue reports. Even though it might not always have been the case, it is clear that most AAA games these days are not actually made for us, gamers, they are made for the investors. That's why the quality of the products has gone down, the prices have gone up, and the approval from both the audience and the developers who are still passionate about their job have been on a significant decline for the past decade or so. Of course, revenue is important, that's what keeps the studios running and allows people to pay their bills, but revenue alone shouldn't be the primary reason driving the studios at what they do. Larian is the prime example that if you simply make the product that your audience is longing for, if you listen to the feedback and respect your fanbase, then a steady revenue stream will be a natural consequence. The amount of people willing to throw money at Larian Studio right now is likely much higher than that of AAA publishers, because through their actions, Larian has gained full trust and confidence of their own audience. The moral backbone of Larian Studio has been on full display recently when the CEO Swen has made an announcement confirming that the studio would not develop a DLC, expansion pack or a sequel to Baldur's Gate 3. The news came as a big surprise for many fans, as it has become expected for a video game company to follow up on their latest success, especially one of the magnitude that Baldur's Gate 3 was. And even though Mr. Vinkey confirmed that a DLC was in development for a short while, it has been quickly dropped in order to focus on their original plans to move away from the Dungeons & Dragons IP and create something new and original. Of course, this has caused a lot of mixed feelings within the community. I think most of us share a similar response, one of disappointment, sadness and sorrow, as knowing that we are likely not going to get another game like this anytime soon, if ever, feels like taking a blade to the gut. Knowing that we are likely never going to see these characters in a video game medium again, and if we will, they are at risk of being butchered by a less competent company. It is understandable, as for many of us it feels like Baldur's Gate 3 was the game we have been waiting for the past few decades, maybe even our entire lives. But a lot of us also share another feeling, one of immense respect. After all, it is difficult not to admire Larian for standing up for what they believe in, even in spite the fact that a sequel would be an easy cash cow for the company. This kind of resolve and commitment is what most big publishers and developers are lacking these days, and it is the very reason why Larian will continue to be successful shall they continue on their path. As of right now, it could be a point of debate whether or not they should still classify as an indie studio, given that their revenue is likely on a similar level to most AAA titles, and they have multiple offices spread across 7 different countries across the world. But I think calling them a AAA developer would be a massive disservice. It may sound dramatic, but I do believe that in a way they have managed to transcend this compartmentalization. Whatever they are now, they are neither a small-time indie studio or a AAA company. They are something new, and with more and more instances of industry veterans leaving AAA industry in order to start their own companies, we can hope that they will take notes and follow in Larian's footsteps. If that will end up being the case, then maybe, just maybe, gaming industry still has a chance to recover from the corporate greed that has consumed it for the past decade and return to the glory and creative freedom it once stood for.